this thumbnail, I didn't design it. Nano Banana Pro painted it from one prompt. You get scroll stopping on-brand thumbnails in seconds, no Photoshop, no designer. And the best part, it's basically free and it's one command. So I'll give you the exact prompt, batch a set live, and score the winner. Let's go. Quick context, I make a lot of thumbnails. Every single video on this channel needs one, and for the longest time that meant opening Photoshop, digging through logo tiles, hunting for the right face crop, dialing in a gradient that actually pops at thumbnail size. Part of making a video I dreaded most because it eats 20 or 30 minutes and it's the last thing standing between you and hitting publish, right when you're already tired. Then Google dropped Nano Banana Pro, and I realized I could skip almost all of it. You describe what should be on the screen in plain English, and it paints it, my face, my style, done. That's what I'm showing you today, start to finish, on this exact video. Part 1, the setup, and I promise this is the fast part. Under the hood, this is one Python script talking to Gemini's image model, Nano Banana Pro. It takes a style reference, my locked big tablet thumbnail template, the same look you've seen on this channel for months, plus whatever you want painted onto that tablet screen, and it hands back a finished 16:9 thumbnail. You don't open a design tool, you don't touch a single layer, terminal, type one command, and wait under a minute. Here's the whole anatomy of the prompt, because once you understand these three pieces, you can make literally any thumbnail with this. Top and bottom are your two headline lines. Top comes out in a gradient orange, bottom in bold black with a hard outline, exactly the style you're used to seeing from me. Screen is the plain English description of what goes on the tablet. Today, that's the real generated thumbnail I just made. Glowing, centered, nothing else on the screen. And screen im is how you hand it an exact logo or asset to reproduce instead of letting it guess. Pass the real PNG file and it copies it pixel faithful instead of redrawing a brand name as garbled, misspelled text, which is what happens if you only describe a logo in Word. One more thing that matters more than people expect, the reference images. The script doesn't just send one style photo and hope for the best. It randomly samples 3 approved thumbnails from a curated folder every single run. That means the background style, the lighting, the tablet, the whole room, all of that stays consistent and on brand every time. But my face and pose come out a little different in each generation because it's drawing from 3 different real photos of me. And that's exactly what you want the moment you're about to generate 6 options back to back and pick the best one. You get real variety in the face without ever drifting off brand in the background. Quick honesty check before we go further, because I don't want to oversell this. It's not perfect every time. Every once in a while, the text comes out with a stray letter wrong, or the face angle looks slightly off, and you just regenerate. But the hit rate is high enough that even with the occasional reroll, this still beats a from-scratch Photoshop session by a mile, both on time and on how many genuinely different concepts you can afford to try. All right, theory's over. Let's actually make some thumbnails live for this exact video. I hit run. Nano Banana Pro paints the tablet screen, keeps my face and the room lighting from the reference, locks in the headline text, and hands back a 1376 by 768 image in well under a minute. Watch the whole thing happen in real time. This is not sped up. And there it is. First pass. 0 manual editing. The headline reads exactly what I typed. The tablet screen shows exactly what I described, and it still looks like me. Compare that to a Photoshop file with a dozen layers. This took 1 sentence, but one thumbnail is never the move. You never ship your first idea. So the real workflow is a batch. Same brand style, different concepts and hooks generated back to back. I run the batch, 3 variations painted straight onto the big tablet template, and 3 more in a completely different style. Faceless pixel art for when the concept works better as an icon and log composition than a face and tablet shot. 6 options, 2 different visual languages, generated back to back with no manual work in between. Here's the part almost nobody does, and it's the actual unlock. Instead of squinting at 6 thumbnails and picking whichever one you like today, you score them. The same way a real packaging pass works. 6 dimensions: clarity, curiosity, emotional pull, contrast, Proof, not echo, and honesty. Every thumbnail gets a number, not a vibe. The scorer looks at each thumbnail at actual YouTube size. The size, it'll actually be sitting next to 10 other videos in someone's feed, not blown up huge on my monitor where everything looks great. Grades against real viral benchmarks pulled from outlier videos in this niche. Not just does this look nice to me today. A level is 8 or higher on every single dimension and 48 or higher out of 60 overall. Anything under that gets flagged, and honestly, most of those just get thrown out rather than shipped. And here's why I actually trust a score more than my own gut on this one specific thing. I look at my own thumbnails all day, every day, so I lose the ability to see them the way a stranger scrolling their feed at 11 at night sees them for half a second. A cold rubric doesn't have that bias. It doesn't know which idea I'm proud of. It just asks, does this actually stop the scroll? And it doesn't just score once and stop. The weakest dimension on the strongest pair gets iterated, regenerated with a sharper prompt, targeting exactly what was missing, and rescored. You're not manually redoing work, you're watching the system fix its own weak spot. After that pass, here's the leaderboard for this exact video. All 6 ranked, real scores, no cherry picking. The top scorer becomes the actual thumbnail on this video, the one you're looking at right now, and the runner-ups don't get thrown away. Every video I ship carries a set of 9 seeded options, and 3 of them go live as an actual A/B test. YouTube quietly rotates them in front of real viewers and tells me which one actually pulls more clicks in the real world, not which one I think looks best in a vacuum. So this isn't just AI made a pretty picture, it's a whole packaging pipeline end to end. Generate, score, iterate, seed, and test. And the only thing I did by hand this whole time was type 1 description. This also means I stopped agonizing over is this the right thumbnail before I hit publish, which used to genuinely stall me. Now, I don't have to be right on the first guess. I just have to generate enough real options and let the scoring plus the live A/B data tell me which one actually was right after the fact with real numbers instead of my own nerve. And notice what just happened across this whole video. Tablet style face thumbnails and faceless pixel art thumbnails got scored on the exact same rubric head to head. I don't have to guess which visual language wins for a given topic anymore. The numbers tell me video by video. Let's be real about what this replaces. A freelance thumbnail designer costs real money per thumbnail, and a good one takes hours between the brief and the final file. Photoshop, even when I'm doing it myself, means opening logo tiles, cropping a face reference, dialing in a gradient 20-30 minutes if nothing goes wrong. This pipeline is 1 sentence and under a minute of render time, and it's scored against the exact same bar I'd hold a human designer to. And it's not a toy, this is the actual thumbnail system running on this actual channel, on this actual video. Every screenshot you've seen in the last few minutes is a real render from tonight, not a mock-up I made to look convincing for this video. You can go check the timestamps yourself if you don't believe me. The other thing worth saying plainly, this doesn't replace having good ideas. The AI paints what you describe. It doesn't decide what the thumbnail should say. You still need to know your hook. You still need to know what proof you're promising the viewer. What this replaces is the execution grind, the hours between I know what I want and it exists as a finished file. That gap used to be the bottleneck. Now it isn't. If you want to try this yourself, here's the shape of it. 1 style reference folder you curate once, 1 Python script that talks to Nano Banana Pro, and a scoring pass that keeps you honest about what's actually good versus what you just happen to like. Swap in your own face references and your own brand colors, and the same pipeline works for your channel. So here's everything you just watched happen live. 1 prompt turned into a real on-brand thumbnail. A batch of 6 ran back-to-back across 2 visual styles. Every single one got scored on 6 real dimensions instead of a gut feeling. The weak spot got fixed automatically. And the winner, plus 2 backups, is the actual thumbnail sitting on this video right now. That's not a demo. That's my real thumbnail pipeline. Honestly, thumbnails used to be the part of making videos I dreaded most. Now it's the fastest step in the whole process, and it's the one that used to take me the longest. If you make anything for the internet, that swap alone is worth stealing. If you want to start a business using AI agents, check out our community in the description down below. That's where I show you the exact automations behind everything on this channel. And check out this video where I show you how I build a full long form video with AI start to finish. Click it on the screen right now.